Just in case you couldn't tell from my very happy face in the thumbnail and the title, somebody tagged me in a tag video. The gracious books, gers, and purrs. Thank you. Here is a finger heart. Finger heart. I keep telling you all that you all need to tag me in tag videos because I live for making tag videos. They make me happy. They make my skin glow. Look at me. What a shame, baby, what a shame. Like, look at this face. Look at this face. Look at this face. It really is a big shame that you all do not tag me more of this so that you can see more of my face, making my happy face when I get to do a tag video. But yes, thank you so much. I think I was tagged like maybe a week ago. About a week ago.
Fuck with us and then we tweaking, ho.
And I just finally got around to filming this because I can. Who else like knows that "Cause I Can" song by Pink? I know I'm rare, you stop and stare, you think I care, I don't. Like, I can't be the only one. It can't just be me and my best friend. I know that song and are obsessed with that song for the last decade and a half, right? Like, please, someone tell me in the comments, do you know "Cause I Can" by Pink? But yeah, so there is the Sweetest Dreams. Yeah, no, the Wildest Dreams. I'm guessing it's that Taylor Swift song. Wildest Dreams. I think that's what inspired this. So it's the Wildest Dream book tag and was created by Either Reads. Yeah, Either Reads created it, was the OG book tag creator. And so these are the tag questions. Number 1, your fantasy time and place to read a book. Honestly, fantasy time is every fucking day. I want to be able to read Mondays to Sundays, 7 a.m. to 7 a.m. If it is possible for me to sacrifice sleep for reading, I would. Of course, I know I have to pace myself because, like, I keep mentioning on this channel that I'm currently recovering from a book slump. So I don't want to set myself back again because it took me almost 4 years to get to the point where I'm reading again and enjoying reading. But honestly, if I can just, all I can do, if like my days can just be filled with just reading throughout, I'm perfectly fine with it. But if I cannot get 24 hours because I do need to sleep and I do need to eat, and Kong Pub would be screaming at me because I need to feed him, then 12 hours in my 24-hour day spent reading is honestly very decent time for me. So my fantasy time is... Actually, I take that back. My fantasy time is being able to get 72 hours in a 24-hour day so that I can actually read for 72 hours in a 24-hour day. If that doesn't make any sense, just consider all the books I can finish within the 72 hours within a 24-hour day. Did I just confuse you? Yes, I confused myself as well. But that is like, I'm in a state of confusion because I've not been reading as much as I used to. So my body is trying to overcompensate. But the fantasy place to read a book... Initially, I wanted to go with, like, say, the British Council Library, because when I grew up in Ibadan, right, there was the British Council Library in Jericho side, very close to booksellers. It was like my comfort space. It had the movies, it had the books, it had the magazines, it had the DVDs. Like, not DVDs because, like, DVDs were not really present when I was growing up. But like, it had the movies in like the cassette tapes, the VHS tapes. That was a blast. That was actually how I watched all the OG Sherlock Holmes, like the black and white one. I can't remember the actor though. So like, I would have said that was my fantasy place, but I've had time to think about this answer ish, I think. And by time, I mean like in the last couple of minutes when I looked at the question. And I think my fantasy place to read, especially if I want to get my 72 hours within 24 hours reading time done, is going to be Up the Magic Faraway Tree. Now, for those that need clarity, so when I was a child, and this was like when I was like 8 years old, I got into the Magic Faraway Tree series by Ini Blyton. If you know any Nigerian child that was like an active reader in the 90s, we all read Enid Blytons. Like, we all read. If you knew a Nigerian child growing up in Nigeria in the 90s, like mid to late 90s to very early 2000, by like 2000 on the dot 2000, we all read Enid Blytons. Like, this was our lifeblood. And the Magic Faraway Tree series basically follows Jo, Beth, and Fanny. They did a name change because Fanny was like butt, I think that is like British slang for like ass. And I guess when they were, going through the books, they changed her name to Franny, but she's always going to be Fanny in my head. Because younger already know that anytime I said, oh yeah, Fanny, I was referring to somebody's ass. But yeah, so like outside of the ass talks, Jo, Beth, and Fanny, their parents moved to this new area, and in the woods, the enchanted woods, there is this tree called the Magic Faraway Tree, and it is the tree that goes all the way up to the sky. Like, its top branches enter the clouds. And the funniest, craziest thing about it is that so firstly, there are people, like supernatural, fantastical people that live in the tree, right? Both like up its branches, around it, you have Moonface, you have Silky the fairy, you have Saucepan Man, who, like, Moonface clearly has the face of a moon. Silky is, obviously a fairy. You have Saucepan Man, who collects saucepans, so like that is how you hear him coming, because he's like always clanking about covered in saucepans. Like, he loves and collects saucepans. And of course, you have your goblins, you have your pixies and all of that. Then you also have Dame Washalot, who, like her name probably has given you many a clue, loves to wash a lot. And so if you're not careful, if you're beneath the tree or climbing up the tree, and you do not, you're not careful, you're going to be bathed in dirty, soapy laundry water, because she's always washing and always tossing her dirty water down the tree. Now, the reason why the Magic Faraway Tree is going to be my fictional place where I would absolutely go and read is, one, because its trees, like the top of its branches reaches the clouds. I know that when I make that jump, I know that when I go up that tree, I will not be disturbed, because one, you will not be able to find me. I mean, I'm going to be really high up. And let me tell you, I can climb. 9-year-old Noria spent all her childhood climbing trees. I'm certain I can remember how it works and finagle my way, or convince somebody to do like some sort of wooden lift to get me up there. I don't know, we'll make it work. But I'm going to go up that tree, and I'm going to bribe Dame Washalot with my laundry, so that whenever anybody comes to try and drag me away from getting some reading done, I'll be like, douse them, Dame Washalot. And then she's going to toss her dirty laundry water down on your ass, and you're going to be soaking, soapy, wet, and angry. And then you're going to be like, what a waste of time. I should never have interrupted Noria when she was bloody reading. Who knew that she was going to, like, attack me this way? It's going to be fantastic. And then anytime I want to take a break off of reading, I would just poke my head up to see exactly what world. So that's the other part I didn't get a chance to mention. At the top of the Magic Faraway Tree are different worlds. So and the worlds are always moving, are always shifting. It is important for you to be come down from the world and back on the tree before the world moves, because once that world moves, it might not come back for like hundreds of years again, right? And it's always a fun ride to see exactly what world is at the top of the tree. Sometimes, I know that there was a time when it was like the land of topsy-turvy, where everything was topsy-turvy, and then there was the land of nursery rhymes, where you could see little Bo Peep has lost the ship and doesn't know where to find them. Leave them alone and they will come home. So you have all the nursery rhymes and all of that. I think there was a chocolate town where everything was chocolate. There was Candy Town. There was Gingerbread Town. Like, so many. I'll just pop up here. I'll be like, I'm in a mood for a snack. I'm feeling a little peckish. Is there food in the world? Like, we're going up. Okay, no food. Can I get food from somebody living in that world? Or I can just get food from somebody living in the tree. Either way, sorry, I've rambled. Can you all tell that I really, really, really want to just like live in the magic faraway tree? I will do that in a bit. My fantasy personal library, or your personal library if you have attained your fantasy. My library I'm still building, so it's not yet up to personal level, and I know this is cliche as fuck. I know this is cliche as fuck, but actually no. I was about to say I know it's cliche as fuck, but I would have gone with the Beast Library and Beauty and the Beast, the animated movie, the animated cartoon. But I was like, you know what? Even though a lot of fucked up things happened, I would choose the library in The Magicians. Just because it is connected to the other worlds. Once again, I can be able to explore other worlds through the library, but also because I am a nosy ass bitch, I want to grab a copy of like the books of my friends and some of my enemies, some former bosses I cannot stand. I want to just grab a hold of their book just to see where their story is, to see like what. Yeah, baby. Compa wants to say hi. I think you all have not seen him in a while. Hey, baby. Look at his face. Have you all seen him in a while? Compa, they've missed you. Everybody's missed you. My darling is like, Ma, I want to escape. So, as I was saying, right, I would just be like, oh, like, nope, I want to read, I will see if there's something catastrophic that is slated their way. And then I can be like, you're a shitty boss. I know something is about to happen and I can tell you to avert it. Pay me money. Pay me all the money you owe me. Pay me all the money I've earned from the many weekends I had to work and you did not pay me overtime, you fucking selfish prick. Anyway, sorry, like, so it's a toss-up. It's between all the books. I have the comp is like, oh my god, I want to touch the microphone. Okay, so it's a touch-up between all the books I can read and the Beast Library, and also just the library, right? The library in The Magicians, right? I actually, honestly, the library in The Magicians, because in addition to it being connected to the other words and me just being a nosy ass bitch so that I can read up on other people's stories, the library also contains like works and stories that like creators who never got the chance to either publish it or could not work up the courage to hit publish, like all the books that they've created but never got the chance for, like never got to see the light of day. They are all present in the library in The Magicians, and I just think it would be a cool way, right? So for example, I could get early access to Winds of Winter. But don't worry, if I do find my way into the library, y'all can be sure that I'm going to be like, breaking news. I figured out exactly what is going to happen in the Winds of Winter. I have discovered and found George R.R. Martin's books. Here is what it is that we can look forward to. And then, we can find a way to encourage him so that I can actually finish it. But yeah, so third question. Imagine you have decided to build a bookshop. What a dream. What would you call it? What would I call it? Okay, what would you call it? Would it sell new or second-hand books? Would it sell anything else? What features would you want in that shop? So the first feature I want it to be combined with a library. What I mean is, because not everybody can necessarily afford the books, and also I'm somebody that I would love to read the first couple of chapters to see if I like a book before I purchase it. So I would like it to be connected with like a reading nook type space. People get free coffee. If it is like free coffee, pieces of fruit, just to munch on as you read. I would love it if it is that I sold secondhand books. I don't want brand new books because although I do love the smell of new books, I think secondhand book smells even better, but it also contains like so much history of the person that held it, that owned the book before you got the book, right? So it would be great to be like, okay, here are their thoughts, right? So I would love a secondhand book, and I would love it if it is that each of the secondhand books came with like a handwritten note. So I would personally source for the books, and while buying the book, I would make a request to the sellers whereby if you're selling me a used book, please write a note that you want whoever is going to be reading this book to keep in mind as they read the book. It can be something about the book, it can be something about your life, it can just be something about getting the chance to connect with another soul through a book. It can be you saying that these are certain pages I really, really enjoyed. And end the note with if you do decide to sell this book to someone else, please sell it to them along with your notes. And so eventually it would be great if, for example, I have books in the library that have like almost 7-8 letters that accompany them, whereby like all their previous owners all wrote notes to the next person who is going to get the book, and then it just becomes this beautiful chain. So that's something I would love to happen. Selling anything else, it's a bookstore, so not really. Oh, video games. I think I would love to sell like physical copy of video games and DVDs, because I am team let us find a way to physically keep media. But yeah, that's about it. And I would love it if the books, okay, so another feature of the shop, I would love it whereby it would be themed, like maybe say Sundays are science fiction days, whereby all the books we put out are select science fiction novels. And then, maybe Friday can be fantasy Fridays. Saturday can be sexy time Saturday for erotica and romance, smexy romance novels, that kind of thing, right? Any day that ends with a Y can be YA day. That would be so funny. But yes, that's basically what I think, like, that's another feature I think I would love to do in the shop. Sorry, I'm rambling, but like, I love tags. If you all could not tell, one person, not a book creator, with whom you can have a good conversation about books. If you don't know a person like this, who do you know that you wish would become a reader so you can talk books with them? I have 2 best friends. My second best friend, like, both of them love to read, so I talk books with both my best friends, right? So like, one person with whom you can have a good conversation about books, it's not going to be one person, it's going to be both of them. Although Dayo reads a more varied genre, so yeah, like, I can talk a ton of books with her, and okay, is more specific with certain books and recommendations, because she's been my best friend for, this is 2024, she's been my best friend now for about 16 years. Yes, 16 years. So she knows me in a way and knows my interest in a way that other people just cannot, like, they cannot get. They cannot do that. And so even though her interests are very niche, her recommendations, whether it's the books or the anime or the manga, she does not really play as much video games, like, not console games, mobile games, yes. PC games occasionally, yes. But like, okay, and those are my 2 people. Sorry, I know you said one person, but like, I have people in my life that are more than one that I can talk books with, that I would always talk books with. So yeah. Number 5, if you won $1 million, right? And this is the last question. If you won $1 million and you could only spend it on books or book related items, how would you spend it? $1 million. The naira is currently going to shit. So it's right now it's about 1,600 naira to a single dollar. So $1 million is like 1.1 billion naira, which is technically not a lot of money, because like I said, the currency has gone to share. But $1 million, that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. The first thing I would do is give about a quarter of that to like school libraries so that they can buy more variety of books. I really got invested in reading in primary school when I was like 7, 8. And that was because my school library then had a bunch of books, right? There were Inni Blytons, there were and the Blytons was varied, right? So Famous Five, Secret Seven, Adventurers Four, Children of Cherry Tree Farm. Like they had books, but they also had like books like the Iliad and Odyssey and Aeneid, and they were the children version of these books, but like they were present in there, right? They had, Koko Baboni, so like stories that centered African traditions and culture and folk tales, and just they had a ton of books. Like I remember the first time I read Charles Dickens was with the library, right? I read David Copperfield, Oliver Twist, Great Expectations. I read them there. They had the children, like easy to understand, and like that was where I got my first love of reading. So $250,000 goes immediately to libraries of primary schools so that they can buy books. Another $250,000 to start my, like, the dream I just shared of the book shop. Yes, definitely getting that bookshop. So so far that's $500,000. I still have another $500,000 to go. What the fuck? Just because I know how hard it is to get Nigerian writers like writing and putting their work out there, especially because they don't get as promoted. Publishing is very centered around the global north, so I think I would put like 300,000 to create a fund for writers. When I say fund, I mean that legit, like each year 5 writers will be selected, and for the space of a year, like they can be paid, like, say, do you know what am I even saying, 300k, the entire 500k, so like 250 goes to primary school libraries, like I said, 250 to start my bookstore business, because of course, and then the balance 500 will go to a writers fund, whereby what I will basically do is take on, like, we would sponsor a writer a year, pay the writer $5,000 every month for them to do nothing but just write whatever they want to write, right? So get that freedom. They at least know that their bills are settled. All they need to do are write, because like there are so many talented Nigerian writers, and it's just so hard to focus on writing and doing that when it is that you need to pay your bills. So that is something I would totally do in a heartbeat. $5,000 a month. Maybe we'll take 2 writers a year, one in January, the other one in July, and and then basically, and proceeds, we'll take donations, of course, from well-meaning people who have interest in the arts, but like to start that off personally, the Nigerian Writer Fund with $500,000, I will totally do that. So that is the end of the questions. Actually, I had a ton of fun with this tag. Thank you so much, Books, Girls, and Purrs, for tagging me. So who am I tagging? Honestly, one, if you've not done this tag and you're interested in it, please go ahead and do so. But if I was to call specific names, I am going to tag Vendi of Caught Between Pages, because Vendi, when was the last time you filmed the video? Consider me this encouraging you. I would tag my friend Jerry over at Onyx pages. Why am I saying my friend? As if everybody I'm about to list are not my friends. So I'm going to tag my friend Vendi over at Code Between Pages. I'm going to tag my friend Jerry over at Onyx pages. And Jerry, it would be nice to, especially that $1 million question. I really want to know. I would tag my friend Sarah over at Novel Serendipity, because honestly, Sarah, I just want to know what your fantasy library is. Like, your girl is desperate to know. And I know it has been forever, and I don't know if you have the spoons for it. But Lauren over at the Novel Lush, Lauren, if you can, please take the time to answer this tag video. I think it's fun. I had a lot of fun. But yes, that is the end of this, my very, very long tag videos. Like, I know a lot of people do tag videos and it's like 9 minutes, and then see my ass, my fucking ass, spending nearly 30 minutes filming this, gods. But yeah, that is it. That is the video. If you enjoyed it, the chaotic energy that is me giving these answers in real time, do not forget to like this video, subscribe if you're not yet subscribed, share this video because it does help grow my content and help my channel. Like, if you think there's anybody that, would be interested in, especially that $1 million dollar question, because I think a lot of people, that's a lot of money. What would we do with it? But yes, I make new videos on Fridays at, like, bookish related videos, Fridays at 5 p.m. EST. My anime related content, my anime manga content comes out on Mondays at 5 p.m. EST. And at the last couple of weeks, I have been doing Bridgerton themed content on Wednesdays at 5 p.m. EST. So keep an eye out, subscribe, look out for the many contents that I have coming your way. And yes, until the next video, which will be dropping on Monday, anime manga content, remember. Until next time, remember what I always say: obsessing over the things you love, perfectly valid coping mechanism.